Hello, young readers. Today we're still talking about vocabulary in a very figurative context. Poetry. Poetry is the language that a writer uses to express his true feeling in a figurative way. Of course, we studied and tried to recap and compare Chicago, Find Work, My Mother Enters the Workforce, of their themes, the structure, the difference between verse and sonnets, and so on. Let's focus on Find Work and the word choice and its significance to the intended message or the theme of the text. Start with truce. Truce. The countries called a truce to end the war. Now it becomes easy here. The countries called a truce to end the war. A truce is a mean or a method to end the war. So called a, whatever comes after a can be an adjective or a noun, okay? Called a truce. So do I have here? I have only one word here. So it's a noun, of course. Okay, the truce is a mean or a way to end the war, not to lead to it. Okay, so what ends a war? An agreement, yes. A settle down. Everyone rejoiced when the warring nations called a truce. Again, nations are fighting together. They become happy when they called for a truce. So happy, truce here has a positive connotation to our ears. So truce ends the war and everyone called for a truce. So again we call for what ends it? It's an agreement. An agreement is meant to do what? To end a fight or a battle. Okay, that's the actual use. Now, in Find Work, context from the poem itself. So much composure, such a truce with time spent in lifelong practice of despair. Oh my God. Such composure. Composure means when you stand still, not dilapidated, not falling apart. So he compares her composure to the truce with time spent in the lifelong practice of despair. It means that the woman is generally depressed. She is sad. But her composure, her way of handling that kind of sadness or despair or agony is a truce. It means it's like a break from long life of despair. This is a very expressive language. Okay, so truce here, that's a noun. It's a what? An agreement to stop fighting. So the woman here came into an agreement to stop fighting her lifelong of despair. So the truce here, it's her state of peace, her state of agreement. The antonym would be the war, the battle, the fight, the disagreement. Now here we have examples like enemies agreeing to stop fighting, end of war, peace treaty. These are the usages of truce from Find Work. Then what does the title itself, Find Work, here signifies? It represents what? It simplifies what? That's her truce. find work is her truth of despair or sadness. She is draining herself with hard work to occupy her mind from being depressed. Composure. We have established that composure here stands still. Although the project was stressful, Lily's composure kept things running smoothly. Now, stressful, smoothly. These are extremely opposites. The what leads to move from state of stress to state of easiness? The composure. So again, composure here, that's a noun. So her standing still, or her way of handling the situation, create that kind of effect. Malik's composure during the storm kept everyone calm. Do you remember a leader? A leader can stand still and lead the others to the way without panicking. So Malik's wasn't in panic. He was composed. In the text, we have established this. She spoke so little, it was hard to bear so much composure. Okay? The woman was standing still. She didn't produce, she didn't make any sound. So composure here, that's a noun. Its meaning is a sense of calm and control over your emotions, like self-control, dignity. Yes, dignity here is not a direct synonym or a replacement or equivalent for the word in the text. Dignity can be one of the relating words, like when your pride is too high to denounce yourself into such false accusations. So you stand composed, you stand in composure. Of course, the antonym would be discomposure or agitation. Do you remember the word agitated? Yes, so when you try to ruffle someone, when you try to vex someone. One of the given examples, not getting angry at someone, that's composure. Accepting a situation gracefully, that's a composure. Not showing emotions, again, this is composure. Not getting angry, accepting a situation gracefully, smoothly, with grace, like Alhamdulillah. Not showing emotion when you become numb, when you become in a state of resignation or apathy. We have studied these words before. Of course, the adjective of the word composure would be, this woman is composed. Despair. The fire burned down Eddie's house and filled him with despair. Imagine losing your own house, your own home. Oh my God. You have no place to stay in. You lose all of your stuff, all of your memories, everything. That's a state of despair. Now you don't know what to do. You're extremely sad. Even you cannot think. You are mourning over the loss of something. Pablo was filled with despair after he heard the bad news. In that context, spent in the lifelong practice of despair. So despair here, that's a noun. If you are in despair, you feel hopeless. You have nothing to do. You have nothing to live forward. Like misery, hopelessness, depression. The antonym, of course, is cheer. That's a cheer, a life of joy. Like what? Despair, that's a feeling that you have nowhere to turn. No hope to see. That's despair. Grief. Her despair was due to what? To grief. Grief means extreme sadness over the loss. Juan experienced grief when he lost his beloved pet. Becca was filled with grief when her father died. So grief here is the ultimate stage of sadness. Find work, she would reply to every grief. So, find work here was her resolution or her escape of sadness. Whenever she's depressed, she tries to find anything to keep herself busy. So, grief here, that's a noun. Someone who experiences grief feels deep sorrow for the loss. Sorrow, heartache. I love the word heartache, it's very expressive. Ache here means pain, like a pain in your heart. And you feel that your heart is almost pumps out of your chest, or you want to hold it with your hand and calm it down, to comfort it. Grief, again, another synonym for misery or despair. The antonym, of course, is blessing or joy. So grief here is having a loved one die. That's a given example. That's the ultimate example that would represent the word grief. We can all relate it to it. I hope that you wouldn't experience it again and accept all the upcoming or despairing or depressing news with composure, with grace. Thank you for listening. Stay safe and keep yourself busy.